What's the worst thing to say to a girl before going down on her? One-way ticket to Flavortown, you whisper as your flamed shirt flaps behind you. What are you talking about? I'd marry him on the spot. Edit. My top ducking comment is me saying I'd marry a guy who'd take me to Flavortown. And I'm okay with that. Thank y'all. 3. Just because you want to marry Guy Fieri or because you think he's got good oral game. On today's episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Muff Dives, I'm going to this little-known all-you-can-eat hotspot downtown where the locals claim, "You really gotta pace yourself." I heard him saying this in my head. God damn it, I hate you. Take my upvote. Get down there, hesitate, come back up, open your mouth to say something but then retract the first sound that comes out of your mouth, then go back down. Sounds like a character played by Michael Cera. Wait. Bread makes you fat? Bread makes you fat. I'm in lesbians with you. The other L word. I have to go pee. I gotta pee on her. For the band, for the band, for the band. You really do look a lot like your mother. Our mother. What are you doing, step bro? Steve Irwin voice, aw crikey. Look at the size of this one. Now, what I'm gonna do is carefully sneak up on him and jam my thumb in his buttily. Aw, Hess really pissed off now. She's a grumpy girl. A friend of mine hooked up with a girl who, for some reason and for a period of months, was convinced he was Jewish. He isn't. She kept mentioning how she'd always liked dating Jewish guys, how she found circumcised dicks attractive. We're in the UK, so it's not as common. He's not cut, and basically doing everything she could to let him know that she was super open to the idea of ducking him. Except, he wasn't actually Jewish. Eventually he pointed this out to her, she was slightly embarrassed, and they laughed it off and decided to go out for a drink. All's well that ends well. As he tells the story, the first time they got together and he was about to start going down on her, he looked her dead in the eyes and said, with a perfectly straight face, "Is this kosher?" There was, by all accounts, no second date. Edit, you guys are really eager to paint her as the bad guy in all this. Considering that A, he did in fact end up having sex with her and B, my friend always was kind of an asshole, it's perfectly plausible that there was some other reason why she didn't want to see him again, and this is just the version of events he told his friends to save a little bit of face. Maybe we can just say it's a funny line without ripping into her for being a humorless bitch. Hey. That's on her, lol. That's so on her. It was so smooth, he perfectly worked with who she gave him. Bravo 6 going dark. Duck me like we fucked Bin Laden. This girl requested intercourse to bring her to climax with the clinical efficiency of the assassination of Bin Laden. Gotta terrorize that pussy. So I did it. We improvised some crazy shit. SEAL Team 69, executing the hit. You finished me off, now throw my body in the ocean. I said Hieronymo and took some pictures for posting. Says Grace. Amen. I am about to throw up. True story. It's a nice summer Friday and I decide to take my wife on a date to a nice restaurant. I ordered grilled chicken and a rack of ribs. I take one bite of the chicken and it's not properly cooked. The waiter apologizes and sends it back to the kitchen. The chicken comes back cooked and we continue to eat and drink. We get home and it's time to do the nasty, except my stomach feels like I'm on a roller coaster. Whatever, he'll deal with that later. I thought. It was going to be an amazing session, I could tell. I give my wife one lick down there and it was in that moment I knew my night was ruined. I got up and told my wife my now infamous words. The look on her face was that of horror and embarrassment. I proceeded to try to say it's not you, I swear, but I was violently throwing up by mid-sentence. I was sick for the next 4 days. Duck you, Red Canyon Grill. The first time my boyfriend went down on me we were both ridiculously drunk, then when we were cuddling afterwards he suddenly bolted for the bathroom and threw up for like 20 minutes and I was like I've poisoned him with my vagina, and we still laugh about it now. Vagina +2 poison damage. Sorry, I rolled a 16 save versus vagina. In a hairstylist voice, which way do you usually part this? Before we start, I would like to thank our sponsor, Raid, Shadow Legends. Practicing safe sex is very important, almost as important as practicing safe web browsing, which is why this video is sponsored by NordVPN. That's it. 1010. Rated by the New York Times. #1 bestseller. Yum yum, in Mr. Bean's voice. All of these comments are awful, but this one gave me such a horrible visual. Good one. Lol, I'm imagining Mr. Bean showing Teddy what a vagina looks like. Oh no, bringing Teddy along and making him go down too. You made this image even worse. I'm supposed to blow air in either hole, right? Don't do it though. It's bad for the gal. Proceeds to play the Ocarina of Time title theme. I'm gonna talk about this picture in my head with my psychiatrist. Now the psychiatrist needs one too. You just created a whole loop of psychiatrists going to each other in the hopes of getting this image out of their minds. They soon realize how costly the sessions are and soon charge more themselves to compensate for their loss, hence increasing the costs of the sessions all over. Taifu. Fun fact: therapists have an elevated risk of depression. Another fun fact: therapists rarely manage to improve depression without the assistance of other therapists. It's like a pyramid scheme, except the product is mental wellness. Is it a pyramid scheme or a self-sustaining industry? Just like the simulations. Watch those wrist rockets. We're losing the command post. We've gained a command post. Roger, roger. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Hold your hand up and raise each finger as you say, one thing to rule them all, one thing to find them, one thing to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. Proceed to 3-finger blast like you're trying to scrape carbon off the inside of a muffler. Edit, thanks for the awards, you maniacs. My apologies to the traumatized vaginas, and a few manginas. I should mark the post NSFV, but it is a worse things to say to thread. Please don't scrape, frown. Long fingernails. Rusty spoon hands. Edit, I'm sorry it wasn't clear. When I said this I was thinking of salad fingers, so anyone whom is mentioning it, that is who I was referring to. The feeling is almost orgasmic. Alright guys, don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe and ring the notification bell button. Now let's dive in. Edit, oh my god, this totally blew up, thanks for the awards Seriously though, cheers lads. I'm gonna smash your like button, and subscribe to this pussy. Edit, thank you kind stranger for your donation. I never thought it'd get gilded. An old classic, it's ducking raw Gordon Ramsay. It's not even cooked, you donkey. Where's the lamb sauce? Hashtag this risotto is in need of Jesus. Hashtag that squid is so raw, I just heard it telling SpongeBob to duck off. Hashtag pinwheel. I am about to cartwheel out of here. Let me just finish these hot wings. Edit, holy shit, wasn't expecting this to blow up. I love spicy food and it may have caused my wife some discomfort on occasion. Frank's Red Hot. I put that S on everything. Okay, but I'm leaving my mask on. A friend told me that during a one-night stand a guy started to make his way downwards, and when she asked him not to, explaining that she doesn't like it, he said, "You don't understand though, I play the trumpet." Talk about a blowhard. Edit spelling. That reminds me, should we have sushi for dinner? Itadakimasu.